So today is Monday. It's still Monday. I made a video earlier, running around doing some things, wondering how you're doing, how the shift is affecting you. Are you starting to come out of it a little bit? Are you still feeling down? I know some people are going through a lot of depression, a lot of feeling like, things aren't really going forward. Another thing is Mercury's retrograde right now. And you've heard me say it before. Yes, the moon, the sun, the planets, they all play a part in what goes on here. We know that. It's been scientifically proven, really, with the ocean and everything. But God trumps everything. So we need to stay focused on God. But that being said, now please don't ever say that I don't say God trumps everything. But with that being said, let's talk about Mercury retrograde. Okay, not a really happy time when Mercury's retrograde. You shouldn't sign contracts. You shouldn't start anything new. But if you have to, you have to. So I'll be right back, and I'll tell you how you can kind of get around that. So Mercury's retrograde, not the greatest news, not for anybody that knows anything about planets. Just a quick kind of rehash. Mercury controls communication, electronics, that sort of thing. So, as a general rule, what most people that follow astrology say is, don't sign contracts when it's retrograde. Don't maybe meet somebody new. Be careful of miscommunications. They happen all the time. They happen more so when Mercury's retrograde. It generally lasts about 3 weeks, which is another downer. It's not just a real quick thing. It lasts about 3 weeks. So generally what happens, it's not the end of the world if you have to. Because generally what happens is you just have to redo it. So say you sign a contract, you start a job when Mercury's retrograde. Something's going to happen most of the time. And then, when it goes back direct, you'll hear something, you got to re-sign the contract. Somebody lost something, it wasn't done right. Relationships, a lot of miscommunications happen. Unfortunately, people can lose relationships during this time if you're not careful. We all know how important communication is, especially if you're feeling a little down and out or you're feeling aggravated about something. Be really careful how you talk to somebody, but especially when Mercury's retrograde. Bite your tongue. I mean, one good rule of thumb is if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But even if you have to say something, because, that's not always the best way to just keep quiet. Because what happens then is it builds and it builds and it builds. So it's always nice to picture yourself as the other person and how would I want to hear this, It's always nice to use I feel like, I don't like this, whatever, not you make me, because after all, nobody makes us do anything unless we're prisoners, right? Which leads me to a whole other topic that I want to talk about, and I'll do another video on. But for now, I want to talk about Mercury. So just be super careful in communication. Things like washing machines, dryers, cars, anything mechanical, light bulbs, even electricity, toasters, microwaves, all of that stuff is more apt to break down during this time as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. But again, God trumps everything. So yes, did he create this world to work in a certain way? He absolutely did. But we can always override. No, not us. He can always override whatever. So every day we should wake up with gratitude. And if you have to force yourself, really think of something to be grateful for. Every day we should wake up in forgiveness. If somebody's hurt you, if somebody's lied, if gossip really hurts people, and what really is upsetting is when people go off talking about lies in very important matters, but it just shows lack of maturity and definite lack of spiritual growth. So look at it that way. Actually
send them prayers, feel sorry for them, because they're, in the end, they're the ones that are not grasping the whole big picture, right? So walk in forgiveness, walk in gratitude, and walk in love and belief. Believe that you can overcome. And no, yeah, does Mercury have power? Yep. But God has more power. So my advice is, number one, try not to sign any contracts or do anything new. If you must, just know that it could come up again. If you can wait, it's better to wait. Number two, be extra, extra, extra careful in communication. In communication with everyone, because you don't really know. You don't really know what the outcome's going to be. And sometimes once it's out, that's it. And number three, focus mostly on that gratitude, forgiveness, and belief, like more so than ever. Number four, raise your vibration again, more so than ever. Do it in the morning, do it at night. Keep a journal. More, again, you should do this every day, but even more importantly than ever when something like this is going on, so that you can look back on it later. Look at, how did I handle this wrong? How did I handle this wrong? How did I handle this right? Did I meet somebody I really cared about today? Did I hurt somebody I really cared about today? Does somebody hurt me that I need to forgive? Be really diligent about all these things, and you'll get through this retrograde, okay? But between the shift and the retrograde, eek, right? But you know what? Things are looking up. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Cling to God. I know it sounds tacky. A lot of people say that's tacky, but cling to Him, because He's the answer. All right, guys, if you need anything, please reach out. All right, talk to you soon. Have a good week. I'll probably make another video tomorrow.